Here's a message that might help someone else that lost a child or lost someone dear to them, or doesn't have to be to death. One of the biggest things I went through was not understanding it. I needed to understand why a God, at that time I believed 100% that there was a God outside of me, why God would take a child that had nothing wrong and leave a child with cancer or debilitating illnesses and just abusive lives or whatever. Why would a loving God do that? And I've learned a lot these past couple years, 4 or 5 years now, where I look back on my life. I lost my son. He was 6 years old to a freak accident. I drank. Boy, did I drink. I drank from morning till night because I didn't want to feel the pain. And one of the biggest things that used to really piss me off, so many people would say it, and I know it was not intentional to hurt me, but it hurt deep. When they'd say, "Oh my God, I couldn't handle that if that happened to me. Oh my God, I would have died if that would have happened to me." I had that said to me. And many other things similar over the years. Instead of being compassionate and understanding that, what choice do you have? You have a choice. At that time, I chose to drink and bury the pain. Now, I look back at it as it was a lesson for me to learn that he brought a lot of love to a lot of people. He gave us lessons to learn from. He served his purpose here. And what I needed to, and it gave me beliefs that I held on to for years, that I wasn't good enough mother, and things like that just kept snowballing in my life that came from the incident of my son dying. And I now can sit here in front of you and tell you, everything does happen for a reason. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. Things happen for us to learn from. And the hardest thing is we sit back and say, how can you learn from something like that? Believe me, I learned a lot about myself from that incident. And so can you. So many times our ego runs our lives with hate and dissatisfaction and negative things that we can't see the good that came out of that little boy being on this earth for the 6 years that he was here. We get buried and blinded by the negativity, and we do that in our everyday lives. I have learned to find the lesson that I need to learn. I've learned to be curious about what it is I'm supposed to learn. I'm not saying it always feels good, because it doesn't. I've gone through this spiritual awakening. I've had signs, synchronicities, birds, feathers dropped all but at my feet from a bird this morning. We just got to learn to stay present in our lives instead of in the past and dwelling on what happened, and learn from it. I hope this helps somebody today. Have a great day.